Good evening. I would like to welcome everyone to the regular scheduled city council meeting of December 21st, 2022. Let the record show that all councilors are present. Meeting called to order. First order of business. Well, first of all, I want to talk a little bit. First, I've been mayor for 12 years, so today's my last meeting. I want to thank my wife for standing by me for 12 years and through all my health things that are going on now. So thank you. Appreciate everything. But otherwise, I just want to say it's been great. I set out to, when I first became mayor, I said there's only two things I'll promise. I'll give back to the community and I will call everybody back. And Candy's been here since I started. She knows that I've gotten back to everybody. And I've given back whatever I could to this community. We started a few things around here. I hope it continues, and I know it will with the council we have right now. We started Halloween, we started the Christmas decorations and everything. So I appreciate all the help from the city employees all these years for, doing different things and new things. And like I said, I've gotten back to everybody. I don't like social media. You'll notice I've never been on Facebook. I've never got back to anybody. Anything that anybody said, bad or good about the city, bad or good about me, my wife many, many times wanted to post things. She wouldn't, I wouldn't, because we're not like that. We either talk to each other and talk to people face to face, and that's what's wrong with society, I think, nowadays. Too many people hiding behind technology, and they won't talk to people. So that's all I'm gonna rant, but I just wanna thank my wife again and my family and friends that supported me, and for the people that didn't, that's your problem, not mine. So I just wanna thank you and move on with the meeting. And I know there's a lot of counselors. We have a new one that's just got sworn in. Some have been here 4 years. Councilor Hoffman's been here for 10. Councilor Harkinen's been here for 18, so I want to thank all the councilors that are present, the past councilors, all the staff that are present, past, and everybody that's been here, because it's all about being a team. And just so the citizens, when you do get on Facebook and you cut down the council, cut down the city, you know what? Talk to the supervisors, talk to the city administrator, talk to your councilors. Don't cut them down and be gutless behind a keypad. Because I never was born that way, never grew up that way, and I'll say it how it is. So thank you for everybody. Like I said, from the people that supported me, people didn't, thank you, and I appreciate everything this town has to offer. So I'm gonna move on with the meeting now. Now let's Councilor Harkinen. I know this is your last meeting. Do you want to say anything
Yeah.
too?
That's been a long haul. Citizens have been great, wonderful to my family, my wife. It's been a great run, and I appreciate
It's tough.
It is. I appreciate all the city workers, the department heads especially are phenomenal, and basically everybody's been very gracious, and I really, really appreciate that. I hope things keep going in the direction they're going. Thanks to all the counselors that I've ever worked with. Thank you.
Okay, otherwise we're gonna move on. Okay, adds and deletes. Add consent agenda, item 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Delete department and committee reports, item 2A. Add department and committee reports, 2B. Add bids and quotes, 1E. Next up, I'll need a motion for approval of the agenda. Motion by Councilor Harkinen.
Support.
Support by Councilor Bayless. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Next up, approval of minutes. Approve the minutes of the regular Hibbing City Council meeting of December 7th, 2022. Wish of the council.
Motion approved.
Motion by Councilor Schreiber.
Support.
Support by Councilor Whitney. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Next, was it approval of minutes? Okay. Consent agenda. Next, item 1, approve accounts payable dated 12/16/2022. Checks 173634 through 173757 in the amount of $860,202.06. Item 2, approve city payroll for pay period ending 12/2/2022, checks 168614 through 168619 in the amount of $521,317.19. Item 11/18/2022, comp time checks 168620 through 168635 in the amount of $90,478.11. Item 3, approve the treasurer/finance director job description. Item 4, authorize to hire Ashina Mulner for the position of treasurer/finance director effective December 22nd, 2022. Item 5, approval of the city clerk/deputy administrator job description. Item 6, authorize to hire a Candy Sepula for the position of city clerk/deputy administrator effective December 22nd, 2022. Item 7, set the next reorganizational and regular Hibbing City Council meeting for Wednesday, January 4th, 2023 at 5 p.m. in the Hibbing City Hall Council Chamber. Item 8, set the next city council workshop for Wednesday, January 4th, 2023 following the reorganizational and regular meeting in the Hibbing City Hall Council Chamber. Item 9, authorize to hire our Martine Ciani for the position of library specialist with the Hibbing Public Library effective December 22nd, 2022. Item 10, approve the code enforcement technician job description with the Hibbing Police Department. Item 11, authorize the posting of a full-time code enforcement technician with the Hibbing Police Department. Item 12, approve the updated PBA technician job description with the Hibbing Police Department. Item 13, approve the indoor play park attendant job description. Wishes of the council.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as read and published.
We have a motion by Councilor Hoffman Sockman,
Support?
support by Councilor Faso. Any discussion?
Mayor,
Yes.
so on the first, or on under number 2 for approved city payroll, the actual amount for the first check run was, or for the accounts, or the payroll check roll was $521,317.99, that's
Okay.
noted. And then on number 7, I erroneously put January 4th, it's actually the 7th is the Wednesday. So that would be for number 7 and number 8.
Thanks, Candy.
Yep,
You've
thank you.
taken care of me for all these years. I read what's written, so thanks. Appreciate it, okay. Otherwise, everybody understand? Okay.
As
Well,
long as they are okay with
if
it.
you're okay
Yes.
with the motions in
Yes,
a second,
thank you.
okay. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Okay, next up, we have public forum. Let it be known you have 5 minutes to present your issues, and at this time, no formal action will be taken. First, we have Mr. Bonacci. Just state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes.
Hi, my name is Steve Bonacci, resident of Kidsville. My address is 202 Mitchell Avenue. Reason why I'm here tonight is talk about a couple different things that we have some issues, not only just out in Kidsville, but kind of running rampant throughout the city of Hibbing, and that's blight. I've been a resident in Kidsville all my life. I am the 3rd generation living in the house in Kidsville, and my kids, of course, were 4th, so 4 generations. I love that town. And I've seen it go from a town that was nice and beautiful, nice yards, and people kept their properties up, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And I don't want that happening in my back door. We got one gentleman out there who picked up a lot that went on auction over there for this St. Louis County. He picked up a small lot right next to the dump on the edge of the road. He's got neighbors right across the street from him. He picked up this lot for $650. Within a month period of time, there was more garbage and junk and tires and things in there you could shake a stick at. I started getting a hold of the blight department. I talked to Amanda, and I talked to Tara, and I was on them constantly, once a month, sometimes once a week. This guy continued to bring things in there, and then he was doing odd things. 2 o'clock in the morning, he'd be burning tires. 2 o'clock in the morning. Then the neighbor that lives across the street sees people going in and out of there at 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. They're there for 10, 15 minutes, and then they're gone. So there's more than one thing going on, more than a Blythe that's going on in there. But anyway, it took 2 years, and finally, we got the problem taken care of. They came in, they cleaned it up. But from what I understand, there was over 70 Blythe complaints from people in Hibbing. And I mean, if you drive around, you can see it all over. I mean, you go by the golf course, that house that's on the outer edge of that golf course, there's been garbage piled up there for the last 20 years. Still stays there. And the end of 2nd Avenue, right across from the Hibbing Salvage. That guy's got stuff just laying on the front of the road. It looks terrible. When these guys came out here to clean this up, and then it gets cleaned up supposedly by the Public Works. Well, Public Works got better things to do than clean up other people's garbage. That's taxpayers' money that's just being wasted. And these people are getting away with this. Now this individual, and I'm not gonna state his name because we're getting recorded here, but I did talk to Greg. Greg's got his information and his name and who he is. But when they went in there, and of course they had to get Bagalis to come in, so some of these, to take the work off of the Public Works, they're putting it out to private contractors to bid on it, and I think that's great, because they can get it done. Our Public Works people got other things to do that the taxpayers are paying for. But here's what I sat there for 2 days and watched how much stuff they took out of there. They took 4 dump truck loads full of tires. They took 5 big garbage trucks full of just junk. Anything from wood to you name it. Bagalis was there with a semi. Took 2 semi-trailers full of scrap metal. 2 junk vehicles that Jack and Don's come and got. Plus, this guy is encroaching on the properties that are next to him that are also that are coming up for St. Louis County auction. This guy's probably going to try to build on. Right now, he's using them for nothing. He's just putting garbage on there too. But there's some way we got to be able to stop these guys. Now, when Tara and Amanda, when they told me, they said, Steve, he's going to come back and do this again. He's been doing this on his other properties. One other property is right behind Holiday Gas Station. And they've cleaned up Blythe over there, I think twice this year, and they've been there before. And they told me right out, he's going to do it again. And I said, well, other people out there that have had maybe one thing laying in their yard or a boat parked in the wrong spot, they get letters sent to them saying either move this or put license plates on this, or we're going to give you a fine. What happens to this guy? Does he ever get a fine? And if he does he ever pay it? No, as far as
Mr. Minaj, you got 1 more minute though.
all right.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get to my point here.
Yeah.
This guy's going to, I think you guys all know where I'm coming from. And 5 minutes really ain't enough time. This is a big problem. But anyway, they said that he's going to get assessed on his taxes $8,000 to $12,000 for that cleanup. He's not going to pay that. He paid $650 for the lot. So, isn't there something else that can be done? I mean, you got to hurt this guy's pocketbook. The other thing he's got going over there, he burns tires at 2 o'clock in the morning to cover up the smell of ether. He's cooking things in there, and it's not hamburgers. Now, I was told just the other day that this individual, because we haven't seen him moving around out there for about the last week or two. And this individual, I was told, is in jail right now for 2 counts of felony drug charges. But when we were out there, and now to repossess his land, if he doesn't pay his tax, it's going to be 4 years. So we're going to put up with 4 more years of junk.
Yeah.
And I'm talking a lot of junk. I'm not talking just a little bit here and there.
And Mr. Bonacci, I know where you're coming from. Like I said, tonight's my last meeting, and for 12 years, you know, I ran these public forums the way I have with the 5 minutes. And, you know, you're over right now, and I can tell you, I'm one of the people that got a ticket for putting plates on a truck, so I know where you're talking about. One thing in my yard, and I ended up getting a fix-it ticket, so I can understand where you're coming there, so I had to put plates on it. And I have a couple neighbors that are the same way like that, and I know with the blight officers, if you see something at 1 a.m. or something, I would call the police on that. You know, I'm not gonna talk for you or anybody else, but, you know, talk to the chief afterwards, or get a hold of him, or come in and talk to Greg, you know, and give all the details to them so they know what's going on, and then they can monitor it, you know, and I'm not gonna speak for them, but, you know, that's what I would do, is get a hold of the chief with what you suspect's going on about the drugs and all that, and then with Greg or the chief or the blight officers, and sit down and, you know, because I can't tell you that this guy's in jail, not in jail, if he's gonna come back or what he's gonna do. This blight thing is a new thing that we started this year, so it's gonna take time on that. So, but like I said, I've ran these public forums for 12 years that way. It's over the time, so that's all I can tell you.
Okay, well, I just want to say one more thing, that if this is new to the council, taking care of this blight problem, then there's gotta be some way, and I know I tried talking to Andy Borland, I called his office 2 or 3 times, never got a return call.
And I'm not gonna
Over the
talk to
same
that.
thing, but I'm just saying, you gotta hurt their pocketbook, and are they paying their fines? You can't find out if they're paying their fines. If they ain't paying their fines, put them in jail.
And I can't tell you if they're paying their fines either, so.
Yeah, but someone's gotta get down to the bottom of this, because it's terrible. And I'm gonna be a pain in the neck until this problem goes away.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, next up, we have Mr. Ross. Come to the podium, state your name and address. And the same thing, you have 5 minutes to present your issue. I'll let you go a couple minutes over, and then I'll cut you off. But just to be truthful, I've done it for 12 years this way, so that's how it's written. Thank you.
My name is Andy Ross, and I live up on the end of West Howard Street. And I'm here today just to ask if they could plow, they plow up to 3rd Avenue West. I don't know if it's a snow emergency or what. But it'd be great if they could go just one more, the street is just as wide up to 4th there. If they could continue up to the end of 4th, it would make a big difference from people on that end of the town, because I've had to help several people that were stuck at Howard Street and 4th. You know, past couple of years, they've been leaving windrows at the end of the alleys to make it difficult to get out of your own alley. The plow will come through. In the past, the loaders would come through and they would go all the way up from 3rd up to where I live on past 4th, and it wasn't an issue. But now the plow comes through and leaves a pretty good size windrow. I don't know if it's just, I think it's on the other side too. It seems like they need more coordination between the graders and the loaders. You know, one could follow the other. And then the other item I wanted to talk about was a stoplight at First and Howard. For a while this summer, it was a 4-way stop. You know, blinking and you could go. I wish they could continue that practice after 5 o'clock or whatever it is, because a lot of times you're just sitting there and there's nobody coming either way. Is that up to the state to control that intersection, or the city? Or, they tried it for a while, why did they quit?
I think, Jesse, that's a state, right?
Yeah, that's controlled with the public utilities, because they own the streetlights. Yep. But we can check the timing of each streetlight and see how they react to different traffic situations. And I haven't, this is the first I heard of this, so I didn't know about it.
Okay.
That's all I've got, and I just wanted to thank the mayor for his time, and thank the Hibbing PD for taking care of a big drug bust on the fentanyl or whatever.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Okay. Moving on to department and committee reports. Item 1, Police Department, Chief Esty. Item A.
Mayor and Council, good evening. In front of you, I got updated fine schedules for a lot of our stuff is from the 90s. So what I took is our fines and basically doubled them. One of them obviously is the blight fine. That's kind of a big one we deal with, along with some of these other ones, abandoned property, as well as parking violations. So just need council approval to move forward with that change.
Okay, wish of the council.
Motion approved.
Motion by Counselor Harkinen.
Support.
Support by Counselor Hoffman Sockman. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Thanks, Chief. Next up, item 2, Community Development Director, Mrs. Elevanti, item B.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Tonight, I am seeking approval to apply for IRRR grant funding to assist with the renovations on AEOA's newly purchased building at 2313 3rd Avenue East. The 2018 City of Hibbing Comprehensive Plan, the Built Environment Goal 1 is to form or strengthen partnerships between city departments, public organizations, and private entities to collaborate on addressing housing issues, implementing projects, and providing comprehensive services to support individuals and families experiencing housing challenges. So this project will consist of rehabbing that building, which will become their new homeless shelter. We already have a homeless shelter that is operating here in Hibbing. This will add capacity and safeguards and measures of observance and things that AEOA has been rolling out through their community engagement and public forums recently. This will also allow them to convert additional bathrooms to increase capacity, renovate the 4 kitchens, put some new flooring throughout the buildings, painting the entire interior, re-insulating the attics, doing some siding, creating workspaces for the staff and furnishings for the buildings. They've already secured some funding from the county and other regional partners, and we are requesting approval today to seek $600,000 in IRRR grant funding with the city as a fiscal agent for a total project spend of $3.293 million. So 1.66 of that is for building purchase and 1.633 is for the rehab costs, of which 600,000 will be funded by this grant.
Okay. Wish of the council.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Hoffman Sockman.
Support.
Support by Counselor Bayless. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Thanks, Bessie. Next up, item 3, under City Clerk Treasurer, Mrs. Mullner, item A.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. Tonight I'm offering resolution number 22-12-09 to reestablish polling locations for 2023. Minnesota statute 204B.16 requires this be done by December 31st of each year, and these are the same polling places as they were in 2022. I did reach out to all the property owners if they are non-city owned buildings, and they all verified that we can use the facilities again. I'm asking for city council to approve the resolution.
Okay, wish of the council.
Motion approved.
Motion by Counselor Schreiber,
Support.
support by Counselor Fossil. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Thanks, Sheena.
Thank you.
Next up, item 4, under City Attorney, Mr. Borland, item A.
Mayor, members of the council, within your packet, you should find a resolution authorizing commencement of a probate for an individual named Adolf Alvarez. Mr. Alvarez is the record owner of the property, which most people know as the Ace Hardware Building. And Mr. Alvarez is deceased. He passed away in California. He's the owner there. The city has incurred some expenses in having to secure that building. And in order to start this process to try and collect on that debt, I would ask the city to give me authorization to prepare what are called probate documents to initiate that with the concept that I would ask that the city administrator be appointed as the first representative of that estate to try and secure that property, hopefully sell that property and or get it demolished and sell that property. It would secure funds to pay the city, and any additional funds after sale of it would go to the heirs of his estate. I had communication with both this Los Angeles County in California, as well as some relatives of Mr. Alvarez's. Communication has kind of dried up in the last 6 weeks or so, and I just don't want it to wait any longer. I know Mr. Green really wants to get that building addressed, so this is the first step in that process.
Okay. Wish of the council.
Motion approved.
Motion by Councilor Harkinen. Support. Support by Councilor Basso. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Item B.
Mayor, members of the council, also within your packet is ordinance number 436. We discussed this at the last council meeting. I had prepared proposed legislation. You approved the hire this evening of the city treasurer and the city clerk. Ordinance 436 essentially recognizes a separate definition for our city clerk versus our city treasurer. If you'd read the ordinance up to now, it combined those two and recognized them as two. Now they're separated, and so the ordinance needs to reflect that. And that's what the is in this particular ordinance. I'd ask for its approval.
Okay. Wish of the council.
Motion approved.
Motion by Councilor Schreiber.
Support.
Support by Councilor Bayless. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Item C.
Members of the council, because Ms. Mulder handles a great deal of the money, and because Ms. Sepula handles a great deal of the other administrative things already with regard to the city clerk position, there are some things that by statute the clerk is supposed to do, but they are tied to finance. So you can, by ordinance, delegate certain of those duties to someone else. So although Ms. Sepula would become the city clerk, we're delegating some of the financial duties to Ms. Mulder and the city treasurer. That's what this ordinance is designed to do. In order to delegate duties away from the clerk, you need to pass an ordinance, and then you need to advise the state of the same. So that's the first step in this process.
Okay. Wish of the council.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Councilor Hoffman Sockman.
Support.
Support by Councilor Harkinen. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
So, Mr. Borland, will that come from your office then back to the state to advise them, or does it
That
come
would be
from the
my
city?
plan,
Okay.
Councilor Hoffman Sockman, is that once we have the ordinance signed and it's been published, we would then advise the state that we've taken
Okay.
this step.
Thank you.
Answer your question, did
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Mayor.
Next up, item 5, City Services Director, Mr. Arola, item A.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Before you tonight is Resolution 22-12-11, and this would be the accepting of $65,000 from a donation from the Ben Owens Foundation on behalf of the Central Range Pickleball Association. Remember, they are the ones doing the bulk of the heavy lifting on the fundraising efforts for pickleball courts in Bennett Park. And their fundraising is underway, and they are doing very well. They're still a little short of their goal, but this is a huge help to that goal. And thank you to the Ben Owens Foundation for this.
Okay. Wish of the council.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilor Bayless.
Support.
Support by Councilor Hoffman Sockman. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Next up, item 6 is City Administrator Report. Mr. Brzezinski, I'll turn it over to you.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, thank you. There's a copy of the annual report going around, so please take a copy. I'm not going to go through this report verbatim, but I am going to point out a couple of key elements from it. So the very first thing I want to do is thank the City Council and our residents of Hibbing for the privilege of serving you all over the last year. The second thing I want to do is acknowledge our city staff. We've got about 145 or so employees, including our city council, and everybody in this room, and all of those employees have certainly participated in putting this report together. So with that, hopefully everybody has a copy. I would like to go to page number 2 to get things rolling, which is our finance department. I want to point out 2 items. One, just the high quality of finance department that we have for 2021. It would have been unmodified opinion, but more importantly, no instances of non-compliance. And then that office also delivered a general election this year. They served 6,450 voters, which is almost a 66% voter turnout. So that's a pretty impressive number. I would turn to page number 3. This is our city services department. Again, I just don't have time to go through verbatim, and we'll post this on our website and people can get copies and whatnot. But did you know that our municipal golf course turned 9,500 rounds in 2022? I would also point out that our city services for 2023, they're wrapping up final plans and specifications for the Mindview project, and we will have that to the city council as early as January of 2023. I would also point to page number 4, also within city services, all the way down to the pickleball courts. And actually, Nick just kind of came up and accepted a donation on behalf of that project. This is a project that is going to be a 22/23 project. We'll be playing pickleball out there hopefully by April, May, possibly. Those are some dollars that were fundraised through the Central Range Pickleball Court, so I wanted to point that out. If you move on to page number 5, building and housing, we had 6 residential new starts. We had 4 new commercial starts. We demolished 19 residential structures in 2022. Some impressive numbers. Also on page 5, I would just go down to the community development area. $2.2 million in loan investment. That's an impressive number. Just kind of, again, give some context to the amount of work that we've done in 2022. If you turn to page number 6, that's our report from our police department. I would point to a couple of things there. 19,104 calls for service. Our PD participated in 10 community events. We also welcomed a new officer, K-9 Officer Dottie, to the ranks. Moving on to page 7, which is from our fire department. We had a total of 340 fire responses, about 2,700 emergency responses, and we reached over 12,000 people through our fire safety education. Again, some pretty impressive numbers. Page 8, our library. Remember the Hibbing Public Library, circulation about 37,303. We've had about 8,800 reading program participants. And my favorite, we hosted the annual Yuletide, which was a clear hit, and that was maybe a week or 2 ago, so pretty impressive. Moving on to page 9, engineering and our waste collection. Did you know that we rehabilitated 7.5 miles of streets and roads? We rehabbed about 12,000 feet of sanitary sewer, reconstructed about 1,500 feet of sidewalks, reconstructed the Kelly Lake lift station, and own and operate 18 lift stations total, 81 miles of sanitary sewer main, and 10.5 miles of storm. So if you move on to page number 10, streets, sanitation, wastewater treatment, we maintain 98 miles of gravel roads, 227 miles of hard surface roads. We hauled 10,000 tons of trash, and we've treated almost 9 million gallons of water in 2022. So just to kind of wrap up our presentation to the city council, I want to point to a couple of other key items. So in 2022, the number of outside dollars, you can go through here, I kind of try to add it up on my fingers and toes, but we took in $7.4 million of outside funds. That includes some state aid dollars and grants and donations, but that's an impressive number. So we want to certainly keep that up and bolster that part of our business. The last thing I'll point to, and I kind of mentioned a couple of these things already, but so we'll look forward in 2023 to the Mindview project. We'll kick that off, hopefully January. The Cary Lake Campground, and then of course the pickleball court. So last two things, Councilor Harkinen, thank you for your 18 years of service. Mayor Kanata, thank you for your 12 years of service. So with that, I would yield to the city council for any comments, questions, whatever you want to talk about, I'm free.
Questions or comments, Counselor? Go ahead.
Just a huge thank you. This is phenomenal. What a nice document. Thank you, and thank you to all of the staff and all the employees. And your leadership, Greg, thank you.
Anything else, Counselor? Good?
Yeah.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it. Okay, moving on, bids and quotes. Under city engineer, Mr. Storrs, Jesse, you mean you start at the same time, so I'm leaving, you're still here, so. Item one, Jess.
Mayor Council attaches a quote for 2 saddle assemblies for the Hendrick suspension on dump truck number 66. The price for the suspension components are $5,477.70. This truck is a 2005, but it is worth fixing. It's in good running shape. So we'd like for council approval to make these purchases.
Okay, wish of the council. Motion approved. Motion by Councilor Harkinen. Support. Support by Councilor Whitney. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Item B.
Mayor Council, we can delete item B from the agenda.
Item C.
Mayor Council attaches a quote from Iron Range Tire for 2 front loader tires for loader 66046. This is our older loader, but we do use this a lot for stacking salt, stacking sand in the yard. The price for these are $4,180, and I'm asking for council approval.
Okay, wish of the council.
Motion approved.
Motion by Councilor Schreiberger.
Support.
Support by Councilor Plasso. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Item C or D?
Mayor Council, this is a big one, attaches a quote for the purchase of a new Vector jet truck from McQueen Equipment in the amount of $585,835.36. This will replace our 2010 truck that we currently have. That'll be our backup truck, and our 1995 model will be declared as surplus equipment, and we will auction that off. This is a vital piece of our fleet. We use this from thaw until it frees up, and we use it sometimes in the winter for jetting city sewer lines and storm sewers. We are under a mandate from the MPCA to clean a percentage of our sanitary sewers per year, and we use this truck to do that. We did demo 2 different trucks. This one, the Vector truck, is the same model we have, just a newer truck, and another model from another vendor. This is by far the superior piece of equipment, and we are asking for council approval.
Okay, wish of the council.
Well, I was going to wait for Councilor Harkinen to do this big last purchase, but if you'd like to go ahead, I'll second it.
You go for it.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
Yeah, motion by Councilor Hoffman, support by Councilor Harkinen. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Item E.
Mayor, Council, Mr. Hurd is here to cover this item.
Okay. Hey, Dave.
Mayor, Council, I'm here tonight to ask for some funds for it's a major rebuild of one of our sludge pumps. We've got about 18 years out of this pump. We've done 2 minor rebuilds, and now we have to do a major on it. And The low quote came in at $7,744, plus shipping, and that was for Liberty Processing.
Okay. Wish of the council.
Motion approved.
Motion by Counselor Schreiber.
Support.
Support by Counselor Fossil. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same.
Thank you.
Motion carried. Thanks, Dave. Next up, item 2, City Service Director, Mr. Arola, item A.
Thank you, Mayor. First up here, I requesting approval to place an equipment order with Bobcat of Duluth in the amount of $80,193.86. This is for a Bobcat UW 56. It's a tool cat with a blower attachment and a broom attachment. And this will be used primarily here, the library memorial building, for snow removal in the winter. And we'll decommission a 97 and a 98 Toro that we have rigged up with a blower and a broom. So we will send those ones to auction and move forward with this.
Okay, wish of the council.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Bayless. Support by Counselor Harkinen. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Item B.
Next is a request to place an order with MTI Distributing for the purchase of a Toro Greensmaster greens mower for the golf course in the amount of $41,121.94. This will replace our 2011 model. Industry standards right around the 5 to 7 year mark on greens mowers. We'll move the other one to a backup, and then our current backup will go to auction as well. So just looking to update our greens mowing fleet.
Okay, wish of the council.
Motion to approve?
We have motion by Counselor Hoffman-Sockman.
Support.
Support by Counselor Schreiber. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Item C.
Next one is infield drag for Bennett Park and Vic Power, also from MTI Distributing, at the amount of $25,664.81. Infield drag for the ball fields at both complexes, and also we use it on the bunkers at the golf course.
Okay, wish of the council.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Fossil.
Support.
Support from Counselor Whitney. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
By any chance, since we bought 2 large pieces of equipment, did they give us a discount since we bought 2 of them from the same time? It doesn't work that way, right?
No, we're on state contract pricing for all of
They
these
are,
anyway,
okay.
So it is at a discount.
Okay,
But yeah, unfortunately not.
okay,
And
good.
with the supply and demand right now, it's gonna be till 2024 most likely when we receive most of this stuff. So they're not really wheeling and dealing as much as maybe in the past.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Good try,
Thank you.
Counselor.
I know. Yeah.
Okay, we had a motion second. Any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Item D.
And the last one here is to place an order with MTI Distributing in the amount of $58,739.72 for a Ventrac tractor. This is a multi-use tractor that we'll use in the winter. It has a cab on it, has a blower and a brush for snow removal of the rinks, and we're getting the mower attachment for the summer so we can use it on the trails and mow trails and rougher terrain in the summer months instead of beating up our parks mowers and stuff in the summer. So we'll get year-round use out of this one, and it'll replace some of our, or just reduce the wear and tear on our other mowers. So it's more dedicated to a heavier use, so.
Okay. Wish of the council.
Motion approved.
Motion by Counselor Harkinen.
Support.
Support by Counselor Schreiber. Any discussion?
Mayor?
Yes.
I have just a quick question.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Is purchasing outright the only option for this? Can any of these big purchases, I guess you, Jesse, can they be leased at all, or?
Yes, yep, we have looked into that. We did last year. we leased the mower, right, fairway mower last year. So yes, it is an option. That's part of our capital improvement plan, where we really need to start taking a look at when we start turning over this equipment and getting rid of it at its top value, or, you know, where we still get some trade back value, and looking at leasing options. Sometimes it is a good option, but this one I think is a good one to purchase, since we're gonna use it for quite a while.
Okay,
But-
so it's a case-by-case situation.
Yep, exactly, case by case, but that is something we need to refine going forward on our capital improvement plan, is
Okay.
leasing versus buying outright.
Great.
For sure.
Thanks.
And I know, Counselor, that we do lease our graders, right, Jess?
Mayor, Council, we do lease our 6th graders in the winter, so that's on a 3-year lease right now. We'll have the option in 2 years to buy one or all of the graders if we choose to. We did, when we bought the sweeper this fall, we did look at leasing a sweeper, and the cost to lease it, it was about $16,000 a month to lease it. And then they can't guarantee that you'd get that piece of equipment in the lease, because from what it sounds like, they'd rather sell it to you than lease it to you.
Thanks. New guy asking questions.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, because you were here when we leased the graders, so. Okay, answer your question, Counselor?
Yes, thank you much.
Okay. Otherwise, we had a motion second. Any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Thanks, Nick. Okay, next up, license and permits. Item 1, approve the raffle permit application request of the Hibbing Area Chamber of Commerce to hold their raffle at the Hibbing National Guard Armory on Friday, February 3rd, 2023. Wish of the council. Motion by Councilor Harkinen. Support. Support by Councilor Fossil. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Item 2, approve the special event permit application of the Range Nordic Gliders to host a Cary Lake Classic Challenge on Saturday, February 18th, 2023 at Cary Lake South Parking Lot. Wish of the council.
Motion approved.
Motion by Councilor Schreiber. Support. Support by Councilor Bayless. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Next, I'll need a motion for closed session for the purpose of labor negotiation strategy pursuant to Minnesota State Section 13D.03 subdivision .1B. Wish of the council.
Motion approved.
Motion by Councilor Harkinen. Support. Support by Councilor Fossil. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Before I go, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Be safe. And again, thank you to my wife. Thank you to all the citizens. It's been an honor to serve you. I need a motion in a second for adjournment.
So moved.
Support. This will be the last time. Motion by Councilor Harkinen, support by Councilor Bayless. Any discussion? Only thing I got to discuss is someone's got to take, Councilor Bayless will have to go first, and someone will have to take the closing after this. So otherwise, all in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.